Try this right now. Close one eye, hold your thumb about 25 centimeters away, and focus directly on it. Got it? Now instantly shift your focus to a distant object. Notice how quickly your eye snapped into absolute clarity. That biological autofocus is called the power of accommodation. It is a mechanical feat that million-dollar cinema cameras still struggle to calculate as fast as you just did. But this perfect biological camera is fragile. If the physical shape of the eye warps by even a fraction of a millimeter, that instant autofocus breaks down. Millions of people live with these minute structural warping errors, experiencing them every day as vision defects. But we don't have to live with the blur, because human vision relies on a highly exact geometrical equation of light. And when the biology fails, we can bypass the glitch entirely using basic physics. To understand the glitch, we have to trace a healthy signal. Imagine a single photon of light bouncing off a distant tree. Its first point of contact with your eye is the cornea, the clear front window, before passing through the dark opening known as the pupil. Immediately, the curved cornea and the flexible internal eye lens go to work. Together, they refract, or bend, that incoming light ray. This technical diagram from panel 3 shows exactly what happens next. The lens focuses the refracted light to form a real, inverted, and diminished image of that tree directly onto the retina, triggering millions of light-sensitive rod and cone cells. From there, the optic nerve acts as a biological data cable. It carries this upside-down visual signal straight to the brain, which flips it right side up for you to comprehend. And that instant autofocus from our thumb experiment, that is driven by the ciliary muscles surrounding the lens. To focus on something close, these muscles squeeze, making the lens thicker and more powerful. For far objects, they relax, allowing the lens to stretch thin. A healthy eye operates as a perfectly calibrated dynamic lens system. Its entire purpose is to precisely bend incoming light, so it lands exactly on the microscopic stationary screen of the retina. But what happens to the picture if that stationary screen is in the wrong physical location? This brings us to myopia, or nearsightedness. It occurs when the physical eyeball has grown slightly too long from front to back, or when the internal lens has become a bit too powerful. Looking at the ray diagram in panel 5, you can clearly see the optical glitch. The lens bends the light from distant objects too sharply. The rays converge, or meet, too early, forming a sharp image suspended in the fluid in front of the retina, leaving only a blurry signal to hit the actual cells. Hypermetropia, or farsightedness, is the exact opposite structural problem. Here, the eyeball is physically too short, or the lens is too weak. Shifting down to the hypermetropia diagram, the geometry fails in reverse. Light from nearby objects doesn't bend sharply enough. The rays hit the retina before they have a chance to converge, attempting to form a focused image somewhere behind your head. In both cases, the eye's internal components are functioning. The blur is simply a spatial mismatch in the eye's internal geometry. If the biological lens is failing to bend light precisely to the retina, the solution is remarkably elegant. We intercept and hack the path of the light before it ever reaches the eye. To fix the early convergence of myopia, we place a concave lens in front of the eye. This hourglass-shaped glass slightly diverges or spreads out the light rays. By the time the eye's overpowered lens bends them back, the focal point is pushed exactly onto the retina. Hypermetropia requires the reverse approach, a convex lens. This thicker, oval-shaped glass pre-converges the incoming rays, pinching them together so the weakened eye has a head start and can finish focusing them in time for the shortened retina. This same physics applies to presbyopia. As we age, those ciliary muscles naturally weaken, losing their ability to squeeze the lens for close-up focus. Older adults often use bifocal or progressive lenses, layering different corrective curves on a single frame to handle both near and far adjustments. This chart from panel 8 lays out a perfect memory trick for keeping the correction straight. For nearsightedness, myopia requires a minus power, which means a concave lens. For farsightedness, hypermetropia means high power, requiring a convex lens. Over time, our biological lenses naturally lose their perfect physical calibration, but by placing a precisely curved piece of glass in front of that system, we manipulate the basic physics of light to restore the world to absolute clarity.